Hello, Durud and Shalom. Sorry about my voice. I have a cold. Don't forget to like the stream. You guys know what happened. Trump came out and gave a historic speech. So many things happened during this speech, each one of them a news item on its own. So I thought we should go over it and see what we think about it. But let me just actually start playing it. Well, actually, let's see how it started because so many crazy things happened during the stream. How's my audio? I know my voice is bad. Let me know who's in the chat. Let me say hi. Hi, guys. And also make sure you say confirm that you have liked the stream. Okay, so let's just jump into it.
Make sure they have a way. Make sure they have a way. They're coming.
Guys, is this the first time a president at the Knesset? A U.S. president. What was that? Wait, what was that? What was that hand gesture? That was pretty cool. What is that? Look at that. Oh, yeah, that's good. All right, let's actually, okay, so they're coming in. Let's just actually get to the speech itself, okay?
Nice place. Very nice.
Nice place.
Thank you very much, everybody. It's a great honor. Nice place. Very nice place.
Is it?
Mr. President, Mr. Prime Minister, Mr. Speaker, esteemed members of the Knesset and cherished citizens of Israel, we gather on a day of profound joy, of soaring hope, of renewed faith, and above all, a day to give our deepest thanks to the Almighty God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
But not Jesus.
After 2 harrowing years in darkness and captivity, 20 courageous hostages are returning to the glorious embrace of their families, and it is glorious. 28 more precious loved ones are coming home at last to rest in this sacred soil for all of time. And after so many years of unceasing war and endless danger, today the skies are calm, the guns are silent, the sirens are still, and the sun rises on a holy land that is finally at peace, a land and a region that will live, God willing, in peace for all eternity.
Does he think does he think it's over? Like this is it? There's like from now on, there's going to be peace in the Middle East, and nothing is going to change that. Is that what is that what you guys getting from what he's saying? Like because of his deal, war in the Middle East has now ended forever.
This is not only the end of a war. This is the end of an age of terror and death, and the beginning of the age of faith and hope and of God. It's the start of a grand concord and lasting harmony for Israel and all the nations of what will soon be a truly magnificent region. I believe that so strongly. This is the historic dawn of a new Middle East. I want to express my gratitude to a man of exceptional courage and patriotism, whose partnership did so much to make this momentous day possible. You know who I'm talking about. There's only one, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
Okay. That's very good. Okay, so he praised Netanyahu very close to the beginning. That's really good. That's really good. I wonder what the Israelis that were booing Netanyahu and praising Trump, how do you feel about that? How do you feel that your hero Trump is also praising Netanyahu? What do you think? I mean, I'm glad that he's doing it. I appreciate that because some Israelis, I feel like they have been very unfair to Netanyahu. Any agreement that is possible, any ceasefire that is possible is because of Bibi's actions in the past 2 years. So I'm glad that President Trump right at the beginning gave him credit.
And he is not easy, I want to tell you. He's not the easiest guy to deal with, but that's what makes him great. That's what makes him great.
Oh my God, what does that mean? He's not the easiest guy. Oh my God, the Bibi haters are going to take that and they're gonna run with it. He said he's not the easiest guy to work with. So anti-Bibi people are going to say, like, well, he's praising him. He has to say that for the cameras. But then he gave us a hint that this is a difficult man to work with. That the anti-Bibi people are going to take that line and they're going to say that what Trump means is that I keep wanting to bring peace, but Netanyahu was standing in the way. I think some people are going to interpret that line like that. What do you guys think? Oh.
Thank you very much, baby. Great job. And let me also convey my tremendous appreciation for all of the nations of the Arab and Muslim world that came together to press Hamas to set the hostages free and to send them home. We had a lot of help. We had a lot of help from a lot of people that you wouldn't suspect. And I want to thank them very much for that. It's an incredible triumph for Israel and the world to have all of these nations working together as partners in peace. And it's pretty unusual for you to see that, but it happened in this case. This was a very unusual point in time, a brilliant point in time. Generations from now, this will be remembered as the moment that everything began to change and change very much for the better. Like the USA right now, it will be the golden age of Israel and the golden age of the Middle East. It's going to work together. I'd like to thank several great American patriots for their invaluable help in getting something done that almost everyone thought was absolutely impossible. We were wasting our time. So many people said, you're just wasting your time. But we weren't, because we had talented people working with us, and we had people that love your country, and frankly, people that love the region. They love the Middle East. I want to thank my friend Steve Witkoff.
I still don't know why Witkoff was picked for any of this job. He had basically zero experience in any of this and very little knowledge.
You know, Steve was chosen by me. He never did this before, but I knew him as...
See, what did I tell you? He never did any of this before. The guy was in real estate.
Chosen by me. He never did this before, but I knew him as a few things. He was a great businessman, but I know a lot of great businessmen, to be honest with you. He had tremendous negotiating skills, but I know a lot of people that negotiate pretty well, although it is an art. But there are people that can negotiate pretty well. But most importantly with Steve, he's just a great guy. Everybody loved him. Everybody.
He does look like a sweet guy, to be honest, but I just think he's very inexperienced in this.
I mean, I know some negotiators that are so good, but you wouldn't have had peace in the Middle East. You would be in World War III right now with some of these guys. Everybody loves Steve, and they respect him, and they somehow can relate to him. I've known him for many years, and I've seen it over and over again.
להוציא את חבר הכנסת, להוציא אותו מהאולם, להוציא אותו מיד, החוצה.
So this guy is the far lefty guy who is anti-Trump and Netanyahu at the same time. and his name is Kathif, which in Persian means filth.
להוציא אותו מיד, החוצה, החוצה. החוצה. להוציא גם את חבר הכנסת כסיף. להוציא את חבר הכנסת כסיף.
Why you filth? I still can't believe that his name is actually Kathif. As an Iranian, that sounds very funny to me.
להוציא גם את חבר הכנסת כסיף. להוציא את חבר הכנסת כסיף מהאולם. להוציא אותו מיד. Sorry for that, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Please.
Look at like I can't get over the face he made right after that. Look at that. That's so funny. I think he's thinking of a very good line to say after that event.
That was very efficient.
And he nails it. Honestly, he's right. That was very efficient. Given that the people who were kicking them out were other people in the parliament, they managed to manhandle him very fast, and they got him out very fast. So Trump was impressed. Like, that was you guys did a very good job, cleaning out the filth.
That was very efficient.
Good Lord.
So back to Steve. He's But I tell one story because he was so involved. And then we called in Jared. We need that brain on occasion. We got to get Jared in here. We got to get a certain group of people. But Steve started this all by himself. I call him Henry Kissinger, who doesn't leak. Okay? Henry is a big leaker. He leaked. Steve doesn't leak. Steve just wants to get the job done. He wants to do what's right. But I'll give you just a quick story because, as you know, he's working on the war with Russia and Ukraine, a war that would have never happened if I were president. A shame. 7,000 young soldiers a week are being killed. More than that this last week. It's a shame. Should have never happened. But it did happen, and we won the race, and I took over this horrible war that's been raging, and I thought it would be easily settled. I thought it was a hell of a lot easier than doing what we just did very successfully with Israel and a lot of other people. But this came first, and we'll get that one. But I set up a meeting for him to meet with President Putin, thinking it would be a 15 or a 20-minute meeting. Steve had no idea about Russia, had no idea about Putin too much, didn't know too much.
Yeah, he doesn't. Guys, as an Iranian, Steve Witkoff, I know he was also involved in the discussions between the United States and the Islamic Republic over there, nuclear enrichment, stuff, uranium enrichment stuff. And Steve Witkoff was like clueless, like he didn't even understand the basics of Iranian politics. So yeah, I'm surprised that Trump picked him. I mean, he's a nice guy. He looks like a nice guy. He's just very inexperienced.
Steve had no idea about Russia, had no idea about Putin too much, didn't know too much about politics, wasn't that interested. He was really good at real estate, but he had that quality that I was looking for, and I didn't see it around in too many ways. And I set up the meeting with Putin, and I called. I said, is Steve finished yet? That was about a half an hour into the meeting. No, sir, he's not. He's still inside. This is in Moscow. I said, well, how's he doing? I don't know, sir. He's still inside. I called up an hour later. Let me speak to Steve. Sir, he's still with Putin. He's with President Putin. I said, wow, that's a long meeting, 1 hour. I called up an hour later. He was still with Putin. 3 hours later, he was still with Putin. 4 hours later, he started to get the word that he was going to be coming out soon. And in 5 hours, he came out. I said, what the hell were you talking about for 5 hours? And he says, just a lot of interesting things. We're talking about a lot of interesting things, including what he went in there for, but you can't talk about it for 5. You can talk about it for a certain period of time and you know what you're getting. But that's a talent. That's a talent where you can do that. Most people I'd send in, number one, they wouldn't be accepted. Number two, if they were the meeting would last 5 minutes. And that's what happens with Steve. Everybody loves him. They love him on this side. They love him on the other side. And he really is. He's a great negotiator because he's a great guy. So thank you.
Do they love him on the Hamas side?
He really is. He's a great negotiator because he's a great guy. So thank you very much, Steve. Very much. And let me also give a very special thanks to someone who truly loves Israel. In fact, loves it so much that my daughter converted. My daughter converted. I didn't know this was going to happen.
Okay, so Ivanka Trump converted to Judaism?
And Ivanka's here.
Oh.
And Bibi, you do know this was not in the cards for me. You understand that. And she is so happy, and they are so happy. At least I think they're happy. If they're not, we have a big story, right? No, they have a great marriage, and they get along great.
Wait, I wonder what so many of the Christians, Republicans think about this. The fact that she left Christianity and she's now converted to Judaism. What do you think they think? Like the really Christian MAGA people. Okay, so she doesn't believe in Jesus anymore.
Best friends, they have a very special relationship. But Jared has been so helpful. He really did something very special. He established the Abraham Accords with a group of very wonderful people. I like calling it the Avraham Accords because people that, right? Avraham. It's so cool.
It's Ibrahim. Oh, we got a super chat. Thank you so much, guys. If we get 10 super chats, we got 1 out of 10. If we get 10, I'm gonna stay longer and basically chit chat with you guys in the chat. Okay. So Gigi just gave us a super chat saying Israel elite leftists definitely sacrifice Israeli peaceful left villagers to Hamas because they hate conservatives, idiotic faith in Oslo and future peace, BB derangement syndrome. Oh yeah, you're talking about that first guy and also the people who are booing Netanyahu. Yeah, I mean if the leftists are turning against, yeah, they're dreaming. I don't know what the hell they want. I don't know what the path to victory they are reimagining.
It's so much sort of nicer, you know, the Abraham versus the Avraham. I just don't want to sound too sanctimonious when I do it. So, you know, I sort of split it up. This way we keep everybody happy. But we have some very great talent, and they have.
Oh, by the way, do you guys want to see Ivanka praying at the Wailing Wall?
No excuses for anything that's taken place because we had some unbelievably good people working on this. And then you're going to add a man named Marco Rubio, who is also here.
Oh, Marco's there. Marco Rubio. Oh my God, he's my favorite American politician. He's the best, guys. Marco Rubio for president. Please vote him in office as president. He understands Iran. He understands, how you need to destroy your enemies through action. He's the best guy. He's like when it comes to foreign policy. Marco Rubio, you cannot get better than Marco Rubio. Yeah.
And I have a prediction that Marco will go down, I mean this, as the greatest Secretary of State in the history of the United States. I believe that. I believe
the greatest president as well if he gets elected.
And he and I, we really fought.
By the way, this is Ivanka Trump. Hold on, where did it go? This is Ivanka praying at the Wailing Wall. Okay. So she's doing this as a Jew. I didn't know that. I thought it was just symbolic.
Fought it out. You remember? And he and I, we really fought it out. You remember? He was tough. He was nasty. Who the hell thought this was going to happen, Marco? Right? And now I'm saying he's going to go down as the greatest. He will. He was always smart and sharp, and people respect him. And then we have somebody who's young, but an unbelievable leader. I saw it a long time ago, and he's turned out to be even better than we thought. Right, Susie? I think even better. And that's Pete Hegseth, who is our Secretary of War, formerly Secretary of Defense.
We covered the speech from Pete Hegseth, guys. Remember when he was making the army go anti-woke? We got another super sticker by AH17. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for supporting. That's 2 out of 10 super chats, I think, if it counts. And oh yeah, this is your first super chat. Thank you so much.
And as you know, we decisively won World War I. We decisively won World War II decisively. And everything in between and everything before it, we won everything. And then they had the brilliant idea of changing the name from war, it was war, to defense. And with that went a certain thinking. And we fought in a very politically correct way after that. We always had the strongest military, and now we have a stronger military than we've ever had before. Because of my first term, I've totally rebuilt the military, every aspect of it. But we have, if you think, we settled 8 wars in 8 months. I'm now including this one, by the way, if that's okay. They may say, well, that was quick, because yesterday I was saying 7, but now I can say 8. The hostages are back. The hostages are back.
That's really good. But now that the hostages are back, you should say no to peace. No to peace, yes to war. Because now Hamas has no leverage, so stop asking for peace. Now that Hamas has no leverage, go and, finish the job. Fuck them up. Like, well, I don't understand. You should have been talking about peace to get Hamas to release the hostages. And now that you have the hostages, all this talk about peace needs to go away. Now everybody needs to be bringing out the drums of war. You need to tell Hamas, like, okay, you have no more leverage. The countdown has begun. We're going to come in and fuck all of you, all of you, every single one of you, completely eradicate you. You just make sure you kiss your wives goodbye, because we're coming in and none of you are going to survive this. That should be the message. Wait, Sam in the chat is saying, Armin, we have no soldiers. What do you mean?
It is a good feeling. Isn't that nice to say? I just said the hostage. First time I said the hostage.
Yeah, people are saying free Palestine. I agree. You now that Hamas doesn't have any leverage, you could go in and fucking destroy every single remaining Hamas member and finally free Palestine from Hamas. Oh, let me see. Gigi is saying, Armin, I meant October 7th failure occurred largely due to insane left politics and belief in Israel versus sensible moderate right for security and defense. Oh, okay. I didn't know that's what you meant. I don't know if you're right or not. I have to look into that. I have to investigate. Let me know why you think that. Okay, that I would be interested in learning how that led to that. How you think that led to that. Thank you.
Messages back. It feels so good to say it.
Yeah, that's the only thing we should be celebrating. The only thing we should be celebrating is the release of the hostages. We shouldn't be celebrating peace, because peace, we haven't achieved peace. You achieve peace once you eradicate Hamas. And actually, not even then. You achieve peace once you eradicate the Islamic Republic in Tehran.
But when you settle 8 wars in 8 months, that means you don't like war. Everyone thought I was going to be brutal. In fact, I remember Hillary Clinton during a debate, she said, look at him, he's going to go to war with everybody. And actually, she said, he's got a personality that's all about war. No, and my personality actually is all about stopping wars. And it seems to work. Seems to work.
Is this why he's so obsessed with peace? Is he so obsessed with peace because Hillary Clinton said that he's obsessed with war? Is Trump on a mission to prove Hillary wrong?
But it also means there's...
Guys, make sure you like the stream. Make sure you like the stream so more people see the stream.
But it also means there's name change in our attitude that we're not going to go into a war. But if we do, we're going to win that war like nobody has ever won a war before. We will not be politically correct, but we're not going to be there. And I think, as you mentioned, Bibi, before, peace through strength. And that's what it's all about.
You get peace through strength by not doing a policy of appeasement with Hamas and the Islamic Republic. You get peace through strength by showing Hamas and Islamic Republic that once you do something like October 7th, we will stop at nothing until you are no longer living, until you are no longer existing. That's how because you don't, when somebody does something like October 7th, you do peace through strength, not with them. They need to go. You do peace through strength by showing other people what happens to anybody that dares attack your citizens. You completely remove them from the map. You destroy them. You crush them. And then not so that you have peace with them, because they don't exist anymore. You do this to them so that other people learn the lesson, so that they don't fuck around anymore, so that nobody else dares fuck around.
The United States has the greatest and most powerful military in the right now history of the world. I can tell you we have weapons that nobody's ever dreamt of. I only hope we never have to use them.
Guys, don't Carl, was that guy spamming? Don't if it's spamming, it's okay that you give them a timeout. But if they're not spamming, don't give anybody timeouts. But thank you for admitting.
I rebuilt the military. I only hope we never have to use them. I rebuilt the military. I was proud to do it, but some of the things I hated to do. I hated certain of the weapons because the level of power is so enormous. It's so dangerous, so bad. But we have to do what we have to do. We make the best weapons in the world, and we've got a lot of them. And we've given a lot to Israel, frankly. And
you have given a lot to Israel, but you have received more from Israel than what you have given to Israel. United States supports Israel with weapons, but Israel supports United States so much more than that. Israel supports United States by actually using them in the battlefield instead of American soldiers. They're on the front lines. They're the ones who are bleeding. They're the ones who are facing not just Israel's enemies, but also America's enemies. So yes, United States supports Israel with money and weapons, but Israel supports United States with their blood, with the blood of their soldiers. And I think that is worth a lot more. And I think United States is getting the better end of this deal.
I mean, Bibi would call me so many times, can you get me this weapon, that weapon, that weapon? Some of them I never heard of, Bibi, and I made them. But we'd get them here, wouldn't we? And they are the best. They are the best. But you used them well. It also takes people that know how to use them. And you obviously used them very well. But so many that Israel became strong and powerful, which ultimately led to peace. That's what led to peace.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Oh my God, thank you. I that is so good that he said that. Trump, he got this one, this was completely on point. That's what, so guys, even Trump acknowledges what got us to peace was Israel's strength. What got us to peace was Israel's strength. Yes, exactly. Good job, Trump. That was very on point.
Which ultimately led to peace. That's what led to peace.
Yes. Well, actually, not peace, to ceasefire, to the release of the hostages. So let me rephrase that, because we're not at peace. Okay, so I misspoke. Trump is correct. What got us to the release of the hostages is Israel's strength, but we are not at peace yet, and we have so much more to do. The terrorists are still out there, and even if you get rid of Hamas, you still have so much more work to do in Iran.
So as we celebrate today, let us remember how this nightmare of depravity and death all began. 2 years ago, on the eve of the Simchat Torah holiday, thousands of innocent Israeli civilians were attacked by terrorists, and one of the most evil and heinous desecrations of innocent life the world has ever seen, the worst slaughter of Jews since the Holocaust. The cruelty of October 7th struck to the core of humanity itself. Nobody could believe what they were witnessing. The United States of America grieved alongside you, and we mourned for our own citizens who were so viciously taken that day. And to all the families whose lives were forever changed by the atrocities of that day, and all of the people of Israel, please know that America joins you in those two everlasting vows: never forget and never again.
Yeah, I mean, never again shouldn't just be something you say. You need to make it happen, because we have said never again before and it happened again. Never again is not something you just say. You never again requires you destroying the people who dare trying to make it happen again.
From October 7th until this week, Israel has been a nation at war, enduring burdens that only a proud and faithful people could withstand. It was a very tough period of time. For so many families across this land, it has been years since you've known a single day of true peace. But now at last, not only for Israelis, but also for Palestinians and for many others, the long and painful nightmare is finally over. And as the
There is no such thing as a Palestinian. Those are the people in Gaza. They're called the people of Gaza, the Gazans. There's no such thing as a. I mean, the only thing that is you could refer to as Palestinian people are terrorists. Palestine is not a country. It's not even a place. Palestine is just a name of a terroristic movement.
long and painful nightmare.
Guys, stop saying $7,000 in the chat. I don't get paid $7,000. I get paid $14,000. I've been so effective with my support of Israel that they doubled my rate. Okay, so if you want to say 7,000 in the chat, please get the number right. It's not 7,000. It's 14,000. Thank you.
Is finally over. And as the dust settles, the smoke fades, the debris is removed, and the ashes cleaned from the air, the day that breaks on a region transformed, and a beautiful and much brighter future appears suddenly within your reach. This is now a very exciting time for Israel and for the entire Middle East, because all across the Middle East, the forces of chaos, terror, and ruin that have plagued the region for decades now stand weakened, isolated, and totally defeated. A new coalition of proud and responsible nations is emerging. And because of us, the enemies of all civilization are in retreat. Thanks to the bravery and incredible skill of the Israeli Defense Forces and Operation Rising Lion.
More than anyone else, that's what deserves those are the people who deserve the credit. You know, more than Netanyahu, more than anybody who's sitting here, more than Trump, more than all of them combined, more than the entire world. The IDF has been the guardians of this planet. The IDF have been fighting the evil in this world alone while the world is condemning them. It's basically the world on one side and the evil against this world on the other side, and the IDF in the middle of that, between that, standing guard.
Yeah. That's central casting. Let's put him in a movie. Look at him. Great job. And my people loved working with you. Loved it. They worked so well together. But many of Iran's top terrorists, including
Somebody is saying I sold out cheap. Really? You think so? You think 14,000 is too low? Okay, I'll try it. Thank you for letting me know. I'll tell the Zionist masters that I'm worth more than 14,000. I'm glad that you think so highly of me, that you think that 14,000 is not enough for my work. I will let them know that you're praising me. Oh, thank you. Here's 35 shekels. It's not as much as what I'm getting paid from my Zionist masters, but I still appreciate that. Thank you, Philip. Thank you for the super chat. We got 3 out of 10 so far. Thank you.
But many of Iran's top terrorists, including nuclear scientists and commanders, have been extinguished from this earth. And with Operation Midnight Hammer, boy, that's a great name for that, what we did last June. The United States military flew.
Oh wow, we got a $50 super chat, guys. We got a $50 super chat. Thank you so much, AH. That's very kind. Thank you so much. And you also became a member. I see you became a member as well. Thank you so much, AH. That's very generous. Thank you.
7 of those beautiful B-2 bombers. They look so beautiful all of a sudden. They were always, I thought they were pretty planes. I had no idea they could do what they did. In fact, we just ordered 28 more of them.
What?
A little updated version. We ordered a whole pile of them. And
wait, did he 22 more of what? What kind of planes?
The United States military flew 7 of those beautiful B-2 bombers. They look.
Wait, did the United States just order 22 more B-2 bombers? How? Those what? Those are I don't think those numbers are correct.
So beautiful all of a sudden. They were always, I thought they were pretty planes. I had no idea they could do what they did.
Oh, he means B-21. Okay, because B-2 bombers are so expensive. I don't think you could get 22 of them like that.
In fact, we just ordered 28 more of them.
28?
A little updated version. We ordered a whole pile of them.
I don't think United States even has 28 B-2 bombers in total. I don't think so. Okay. Well, hey, Unusual AI just gave us a super chat saying, Alhamdulillah for the Zayo propaganda. Oh, you're welcome. Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you for the super chat.
And almost 100 other planes went with them, including fighter jets. And we had 52 tankers, big, beautiful, brand new tankers that were loaded.
Okay, so yeah, people in the chat are saying he means B-21 Raider. That's what he means. Okay.
52 tankers, big, beautiful, brand new tankers that were loading them up 4 or 5 times. They've traveled 37 hours back and forth. Think of that. But we had tankers all over the sky for all the other planes. We had the F-22s, the F-35s, F-16s. We had a hell of a lot of planes.
By the way, the F-35, thanks to Israel, nobody doubts how important the F-35s are. Because in the United States, so many people were blaming the Pentagon for building F-35s. They thought it was too expensive and not very good at what it does, like relative to the price. And now, after Israel's operations in Iran and everywhere else, now everybody's lining up to buy them because they have proven that they're worth so much more than their cost.
The F-35s, F-16.
And that's another benefit that Israel has for United States. Did you guys know that? So Israel is basically the marketing arm of United States military industry, right? So because nobody can really tell how good these weapons are until they're used in real battle, not in tests, not in scenarios, made up scenarios, but in real battles. And that's why, because the United States gets to give these weapons to Israel to actually use, and then once the world sees their efficiency, they line up to buy it from United States. And that's another one of the many other benefits that Israel has for United States.
We had a hell of a lot of planes. So we had 52 gas stations in the sky. That's what they call them. I'll tell you, I wouldn't want to be flying one of them. We have our great General Raisin Cain right here. General, stand up. This guy, what a general. Thank you. I asked General Cain, I said, we're having problems with ISIS, and I was in Washington, and I asked, how long would it take to defeat ISIS? And my Washington...
Oh, by the way, guys, this girl tried to call us Zayos, but she says, look, somebody came and said, like, I don't know if she wants to insult us or what, but she said, she wanted to say, and then she corrected Zayos. But she first said zoos. Okay, these were zoos. Okay, that's funny.
Generals told me 3, 4, maybe 5 years, sir. I said, I don't get it. We got the best equipment in the world. Why? So I flew to Iraq, and I met with a man named Cain. He said, what's your first name? He said, they call me Raisin, sir. I said, wait a minute. Your name is Raisin Cain? I've been looking for you for a long time. You gotta be kidding. So they told me 3, 4, 5 years to defeat ISIS. And I sit down with him and I say, why is it? I flew there in the dark of night. I landed, I'll never forget it. It's quite a trip. I'm glad I made it because I met him. I said, could I ask you, General? I come down. He said he was another general and a sergeant. Everybody was like central casting. They could go into a movie right now. Between him and you guys over here, we could get rich making movies, okay? And they got along so great. That's the beautiful thing, that your military and our military, BB, got along so great. But I was told by the television generals in Washington, we have the best equipment in the world. Why is it taking so long? And they said, 4 years. I said, so let me ask you, Raisin, how long would it take you to defeat ISIS? Sir, we can do it in 3 weeks, but you'll probably have some time left over. I said, you gotta be kidding. What the hell are you talking about? They said 4 years. I said, well, sir, look, it's not my place to say, but you're asking me the question. What you have to do is you hit him from the west, you hit him from the north, you hit him from the south, you hit him above, you hit him below. I said, so why didn't they do it? And he didn't want to speak badly of him.
Okay, I have a question, Trump. Why are you not doing that with Hamas? That's what you need to do that now. What you did with ISIS. I have a question. You ask your general why didn't people do this with ISIS before? Why didn't they before come out and hit them from all sides? Well, I have this question exactly from you. Why are you holding Israel back right now? Why are you not hitting Hamas from all sides? How is Hamas different from ISIS? And in fact, here's another question. Why are you not hitting the Islamic Republic from all sides? The Islamic Republic is just a more organized version of ISIS. So you ask your general, why didn't people before you come into power, why didn't they hit ISIS from all sides? I have the same question to you. Why aren't you doing that with Hamas? Why aren't you doing that with the Islamic Republic? Why are you standing in the way of Israel and her enemies? Let Israel finish the job. And also, I think we got a super chat that actually speaks to that. Misha saying, I was loving Trump, but he's seeming to be kissing ass with Muslim leaders at the moment and continues to restrict Netanyahu. Yeah, I mean, I'm not black and white with Trump. Sometimes he does things that I really, really like, and sometimes he does things that I really, really hate. The thing that he has done that I hate the most was that at the end of the 12-day war, he saved Khamenei's life. You know who my source is? Trump. Trump said that himself. He said that the IDF was about to go and basically take out Khamenei, and Trump said, I stopped them, and Khamenei is alive today because of me. Imagine, guys, if Khamenei was dead right now, we would have been completely, this whole terror movement would have collapsed by the fall of the Islamic Republic. So I don't understand. I don't understand that. I mean, I do understand why he said that, but I'm still very angry.
His superiors, which is hard to believe they were his superiors. Should have been the other way around a long time ago, because he's the one that did Operation Hammer. It was flawless. It was flawless. It was absolutely flawless. And I said, so you really think you can do it in 4 weeks? Yes, sir, 100%. You have to do it differently than they were doing it. They were using one.
Erica in the chat is saying he really has to play both sides, though. But Erica, I understand what you're saying. But if Khamenei was dead, then at that point, he wouldn't have to play both sides anymore. You know why if Khamenei died, do you know why he wouldn't have to play both sides anymore? Because there wouldn't be another side. The other side would collapse. So if the other side collapsed, then you wouldn't have to play both sides. And also, when one side is ISIS, you don't have to play both sides. When one side is Hamas, no, you don't have to play both sides. You play both sides when you have two civilized, states or group of people that have some disagreements. You don't have to play both sides. You don't play both sides when one side is civilization and the other side is barbarism.
And I said, so you really think you can do it in 4 weeks? Yes, sir, 100%.
Yeah, my voice is breaking because I have a cold. I don't know what your point is.
And I said, so you really think you can do it in 4 weeks? Yes, sir, 100%. You have to do it differently than they were doing it. They were using one base and it was hundreds of miles away. And he says, we have all these portable bases all over the Middle East. And they didn't want to use them because they didn't want to offend the country where the portable, they wouldn't have even known what the hell the planes were going up, right? They wouldn't have known, but he said, no, they didn't want to defend anybody, offend anybody. And but we can do it in 4 weeks. I said, you sure about that? I'm going to call you back. I'll call you back on Monday. I'm going back to Washington. But you think 4 weeks? Yes, sir, I think we can do it in 4 weeks. We'll have time left over. So I call him on Monday. I said, you think you can do it? 4 weeks. I said, go ahead and do it. He did it. I'll tell you, he did it in 4 weeks, less than 4 weeks.
Well, maybe get him to also do this with Hamas. By the way, if good job destroying Hamas. However, the civilian to combatant ratio when the Americans attacked ISIS, was actually higher than what Israel is doing against Hamas. So really good job against ISIS. However, Israel is doing such a cleaner job right now attacking Hamas. So and they get condemned for it. It's amazing how United States was not getting blamed left and right by the whole world because of the civilians who were dying, and in the civilian casualties, the collateral damage. The world wasn't coming out and condemning the United States because they understood that this is what it takes to destroy ISIS. So I don't know why that level of condemnation. I mean, I do know why. You guys know why? You know why. Why is that? Why did the world didn't come and condemn the United States when they were fighting ISIS, even though civilians died? But when it comes to Israel, everybody is condemning Israel. I mean, we all know what the factor he is, right? It's the Jew factor.
So, General, stand up, please. Again, this is a real general. This is not a television general. He doesn't want to go on television. He doesn't want to go on television. That's what the other guys love being on television. So we dropped 14 bombs on Iran's key nuclear facilities, totally, as I said originally, obliterating them. And that's been confirmed, and everybody understands it. Together we stopped the #1 state sponsor of terror from obtaining the world's most dangerous weapons. And if you think about it, if we didn't do that, and assuming we made the same deal,
And you stopped them from getting, yes, you did stop them from getting nuclear weapons. Thank you so much. But you also helped them continue surviving. And now you're talking about bringing them to the Abrahamic Accord. Like, Trump doesn't learn that the Islamic Republic does not, it's in their DNA to be this evil. Like, Trump, you understood now that you were wrong about Putin. Putin was never going to accept peace. So please understand the same thing about Hamas. You cannot do peace with Hamas. It's against their DNA. And now after all this experience, Trump is still talking about, the Islamic Republic we could have a peace with them, and we could actually bring them in to the Abrahamic Accord. Like, have you lost your mind? Do you not know the nature of these people? That would never happen with these people. Why are you still looking for peace with evil? We could never have peace with evil. We could never have peace with evil. That's what he needs to understand. I mean, I think he finally figured it out with Putin. I want to see how long it's going to take him to also understand this with the Islamic Republic. We got another super chat. Thank you so much. Mishmos is saying, and did you hear Israel's ambassador, Danny Danon, said that the next stage is to extend the Abrahamic Accord? Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about, right? I think that's what you're saying. The next stage is to extend the Abrahamic Accords to the countries, to Muslim countries who can join the accords. What do you think about this? Well, I mean, my problem is that Trump specifically said that the Islamic Republic could also be included. I think the other Muslim countries, they are now more economically being, the leader, not the people, like at least the leaders are being more economically and survival driven than Islamic driven. So I don't mind including all of them in the Abrahamic Accord, all of them except the Islamic Republic, because Saudi Arabia's leaders, for them Islam is just a barrier for them to be able to make more money, and they try to have to find a way to dance around it, for example, right? And so is the UAE, so is the Qatar. So in Qatar, but not for the Islamic Republic. It's Islam is the goal, and that's why include everybody in the Abrahamic Accord against the Islamic Republic. The only way you could have peace with Iran is after a regime change, and then once you include Iran, it's not the Abrahamic Accord anymore. At that time, you could switch the name to the Cyrus Accord. Okay, so keep expanding the Abrahamic Accord to create some unity against the Islamic Republic in Iran until the Islamic Republic falls and Iran becomes free, and then Iran could join this unity, this coalition of countries, and then by that time you need a rebranding from the Abrahamic Accord to the Cyrus Accord.
If we didn't do that, and assuming we made the same deal that we have today, there'd be a dark cloud over this deal. And #1, it wouldn't happen because the other Arab and Muslim nations really wouldn't feel comfortable making the deal that we have now, right? If Iran had that nuclear weapon that they were about 2 months away from having, they would have had it in 2 months or maybe less than that.
I like how Bibi looks at him. I think Bibi was very happy today because Bibi has, like, a lot of the Israelis are turning against Bibi, and Trump is very popular right now in Israel. So Trump coming here and celebrating Bibi and also confirming a lot of things that Bibi believes. Look at the way Bibi is looking at Trump and appreciating what he's saying.
That we have now, right? if Iran had that nuclear weapon that they were about 2 months away from having. They would have had it in 2 months or maybe less than that. They were right at, this was our last shot. They looked at it for 22 years. This was our last shot. The pilots told me that. They said, 22 years, sir. They looked at it. Our predecessors looked, they studied it. 3 times a year would do drills on that exact attack. And boy, did they get it right. But let's assume they didn't. And let's assume there was large-scale nuclear weapons in the hands of Iran. We couldn't be here today. Even if we signed the deal, which we couldn't do because a lot of people would not want to have anything to do with it. We took a big cloud off of the Middle East and off of Israel.
I mean, I would clap, but that attack was used as an excuse to stop Israel from finishing the job in the 12-day war. I mean, the attack on Fordo, I would celebrate that. Good job for taking out the Islamic Republic's nuclear capabilities. However, the only reason why I don't celebrate it is because if America didn't get involved, because Trump did the attack Fordo, Natanz, and the nuclear site in Isfahan, and then he used that as an excuse to say, well, then the war is over because the Islamic Republic is not a threat anymore. And then he forced Netanyahu to finish the war. But if instead of the 12-day war, it was the 13-day war, if we just had a few more hours, the Islamic Republic might have been gone by now. So that's why I don't celebrate, the Fordo attack.
And it was my honor to help. But isn't it true though that can you imagine the same? Let's assume, Bibi, the same documents. We had everything the same, but you had somebody out there that was, in the opinion of everybody, all powerful in the Middle East. They took a big hit, didn't they? Didn't they take a big hit? Boy, oh boy. They got it from one side, from the other. And it would be great if we could make a peace deal with them. And I think that's big.
What? Look at this. He's talking about Khamenei, right? He's like, guys, is this, correct me if I'm wrong, is he referring to Khamenei?
All powerful in the Middle East.
All powerful? Is he talking about Khamenei?
Maybe the same documents. We had everything the same, but you had somebody out there that was, in the opinion of everybody, all powerful in the Middle East.
Who is he referring to here, guys? Am I understanding him correctly?
They took a big hit, didn't they? Didn't they take a big hit? Boy, oh boy.
Yeah, he's talking about the Islamic Republic.
Boy. They got it from one side, from the other. And it would be great if we could make a peace deal with them. And I think that's big. Would you be happy with that? Wouldn't it be nice, I think?
A peace deal with the Islamic Republic? Is that what he's saying? That is insanity. See, I was celebrating Trump just a few seconds ago, and now this is a huge disappointment. He's a huge disappointment. Do you guys not agree with me? Let me know in the chat. Isn't that insanity? Do you want to do peace with ISIS? Would you do peace with ISIS? Would you do peace with the Nazis? No, you crush the Nazis. You destroy the Nazis. You crush ISIS. You destroy ISIS. You don't do peace with evil. Why would it be nice? What he says, wouldn't it be nice to have a peace with them? No, it wouldn't be. It's naive. It's naive, and it's insanity, and it's disgusting. After all this time, you want to do peace with the people who funded and trained terrorists for October 7th. You want to do peace with the people who did October 7th, the people who want to annihilate Israel. You want to do peace with the people who, from day one of their founding, have promised, have sworn to their Allah that they're going to kill every single Israeli one day and wipe Israel off the map. You want to do peace with anti-Semites, with Jew haters, with people who want to also destroy America? How do you not know that these people, you cannot make these people, You cannot change these people. This is in their DNA. They're not going to change. The Islamic Republic, this is not even, the Islamic Republic is not even a country. It's a movement, and it's a parasitic movement that is feeding on Iran. The Islamic Republic is not Iran. It's a parasitic movement that is feeding on Iran, so then it could grow and then export the revolution to other places and feed on other countries as well, and with the eventual goal to basically corrupt the entire planet with an Islamic disease. That's what the agenda is. That's what the entire goal is, and that's why they're playing by different rules. You keep trying to use the carrot and stick on them based on how other countries behave, but they're not even a country. This is an Islamic empire trying to expand. This is basically a takeover. This is a war against what they call Western imperialism, and what we refer to as the world liberal order after World War II. They want to destroy all of that, and they're never going to change. They're never going to want anything else. That's their entire agenda. You keep treating the Islamic Republic as if it's a country, and as if it behaves like a country. It's not. It's more like ISIS. It's more like Hamas. These are not the leaders of a country. These are leaders of an Islamic terroristic movement with the goal to ready the world for the coming of the Mahdi. I know this. I was born there. I'm Iranian. I know what their agenda is. I know what their ideology is, and I studied them. I know what this is, and you should have learned this by now. Why would you want to make peace with them?
Like, they got it from one side, from the other. And it would be great if we could make a peace deal with them. And I think that's big. Would you be happy with that? Wouldn't it be nice, I think? Because I think they want to. I think that
Somebody in the chat is saying you are not Iranian. جدی میفرمایین من ایرانی نیستم. خب پس چجوری بدارم بهت فوش میدم خارکوس. مادر قهوه داره به من میگه که تو ایرانی نیستی. اوکی باشه.
tired. Somebody said, sir, they're starting their nuclear program again. I said, let me tell you something. They're not starting anything. They want to survive. The last thing they want to do is start digging holes again in mountains that just got blown up and start. They're not doing. They want to survive, okay? But
wait, what? Look at this. He's getting this wrong. He's getting this wrong.
I think they're tired. So I think because I think they want to. I think they're tired.
So he says look. Oh my God! He actually explains his philosophy for why the Islamic Republic wants peace.
Great if we could make a peace deal with them, and I think that's big. Would you be happy with that? Wouldn't it be nice? I think.
No. So by the way, Netanyahu, guys, learn this from me. Whenever Netanyahu is talking about peace with Iran, he's talking about peace with Iran after the fall of the Islamic Republic. That's what Netanyahu means whenever he says peace with Iran. But unfortunately, whenever Trump talks about peace with Iran, what he means is peace with the Islamic Republic, unfortunately. So yeah, I can answer you. I know based on what Netanyahu has said many, many times, no, he wouldn't like that. He wouldn't like peace with the Islamic Republic, because the Islamic Republic is set on destroying Israel. So why would he want to have peace with them?
And I think that's big. Would you be happy with that? Wouldn't it be nice? I think.
No.
Because I think they want to. I think they're tired. Somebody said, sir, they're starting their nuclear program again. I said, let me tell you something. They're not starting anything. They want.
Okay, Trump, you don't understand the Islamic Republic. He's like, let me tell you something. They're tired. No, they're not. Their entire ambition is to end you.
The nuclear program again. I said, let me tell you something. They're not starting anything. They want to survive. The last thing they want to do is start digging holes again in mountains that just got blown up and start. They're not doing. They want to survive. Okay.
Trump, even if that was true, if they only wanted to survive, then they have realized that they have no deterring factors right now. They have no deterring capabilities other than going nuclear. Israel just removed every single one of their deterring capabilities. They are, if they want to survive, they need to show to the world that they have something as a deterring factor, right? They don't have Hamas anymore. They don't have Hezbollah. They don't have Kataib. They don't have Shabi. They don't have Assad. Hezbollah. All of these was removed by Israel, and Houthis are now on the next on the list. So they have lost all their proxies. They have lost most of their launchers. They have lost their nuclear facilities. So they are complete. They have also lost their air defense thanks to Israel. So they're completely naked. Khamenei is butt naked. Okay, and the entire airspace of Iran is now completely controlled by Israel. So they have no deterrent capabilities. So they are willing to risk it and try to. In fact, now they're more eager than ever to go nuclear because they have nothing else to show you for. They have nothing else to demonstrate why you shouldn't attack them. So you're wrong. Your assessment is completely wrong.
Just got blown up and start. They're not doing.
Jerry is saying free Palestine. Jerry, for Palestine, I think that's too expensive. Can you go lower? Can you go lower than free? I think it's free. If you think free Palestine is going to have any buyers, Palestine is such a shithole that you actually have to pay me something to come take it.
Digging holes again in mountains that just got blown up and start. They're not doing. They want to survive, okay? But I think we have a chance. Steve, you and I think Jared, come on, I'll call you back for another one. We always bring Jared when we want to get that deal closed. We bring Jared, but Steve, you and Jared and the General and Pete and Marco, you'll get that deal done easy. I think that'll be easy. But first we have to get Russia done. We got to get that one done. If you don't mind, Steve, let's focus on Russia first, all right? We'll get it done. In Lebanon, the dagger of Hezbollah, long aimed at Israel's throat, has been totally shattered. My administration is actively supporting the new president of Lebanon in his mission to permanently disarm Hezbollah's terror.
Yeah, your administration gets to do that because Israel got rid of Hezbollah. So thank you, Bibi. Thank you, Bibi.
Brigades. He's doing very well. And build a thrive.
Guys, people are calling me a Jew in the chat. They're like, Armin is a real Jew. Like he's like somebody's calling me the real Jew. Okay, one, thank you so much. Yeah, I know that's funny. Yeah, yes, you see, you see that other people come here and ask you guys if I'm a Jew or not. Maybe tell them I'm a Jew. Yeah, let them know I'm a Jew. Maybe if we could spread this enough, I could become an honorary Jew, and if I become an honorary Jew, would I get an Israeli citizenship? Let me know if that works. If enough people call me a Jew, then can I get an Israeli citizenship? Because I would like that. Yeah.
Terror brigades. He's doing very well. And build a thriving state at peace with its neighbors, and you're very much in favor of that, I know. And it's good things are happening there, really good things. And with this week's ceasefire, we've achieved the most challenging breakthrough of them all, the most challenging breakthrough maybe ever. I mean, I've never seen anything like. I've been involved in a lot of success. I have never seen anything like what's going on today all over the world. People are dancing in the streets, not just in Israel. They're dancing in the streets of countries that would have never danced in the street about what's happened.
Yeah, and some of them are shouting, Khaybar, Khaybar, Yo Yahud. Some of them are shouting that while dancing as a result of this deal.
Today.
Basically promising a genocide on Jews. By the way, you know who else? You know who else is dancing? You know who else is celebrating? Hamas right now is celebrating the fact that the IDF has pulled out of Gaza because they're going around and shooting the people who are anti-Hamas. They're just lining them up and shooting them right now. So, guys, actually, can you look at the difference? After this so-called peace deal was signed, the Israelis celebrated their own people. People were crying tears of joy over the reunion, and Israel was busy celebrating the life of the hostages and the fact that they're alive. Whereas in Gaza, they started shooting the people of Gaza. So in Israel, right after the ceasefire agreement, we had a celebration of life. And then in Gaza, Hamas immediately got to work finding anybody that they could have that had expressed anti-Hamas, or if they worked with Israel in any ways, and they were just lining them up and shooting them. They're right now. The hunting is happening as we speak right now in Gaza by Hamas. You see the difference between a movement for life and a cult of death. It cannot be any more clear once you see both sides' responses to the ceasefire.
That would have never danced in the street about what's happening today. They're dancing in those streets. So this long and difficult war has now ended. Some people say 3,000 years, some people say 500 years, whatever it is. It's the granddaddy of them all. And in an unprecedented achievement, virtually the entire region has endorsed the plan that Gaza will be immediately demilitarized, that Hamas will be disarmed.
Okay, you said that. So if Hamas is not disarmed, can we accept that the peace deal has been violated? And is Netanyahu allowed to go fuck them up? Can we guys, somebody write that down. You said that. So please don't stand in Netanyahu's way when Hamas refuses to disarm, because I have a suspicion that they're not going to do that willingly. And if they don't do that willingly, that means IDF is going to be back in Gaza. It was already violated.
Immediately demilitarized, that Hamas will be disarmed, and Israel's security will no longer be threatened in any way, shape, or form.
There we go.
So Israel, with our help, has won all that they can by force of arms. You've won. You've won. Now it's time to translate these victories against terrorists on the battlefield into the ultimate prize of peace and prosperity for the entire Middle East. It's about time you were able to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Mr. Opposition Leader. He's a very nice opposition leader. I think. No, he's a nice man. Bibi, he's a nice man. He knows what he's doing, right?
Wait, who's that sitting next to? Is that?
Bibi, he's a nice man. He knows.
Guys, are Ben Gavir and Smotrich here in the parliament, in the Knesset, or not?
What he's doing, right? Nah, he's a very nice guy. Well, see, now you can be a little bit nicer, Bibi, because you're not at war anymore, Bibi.
Yes, he is. He's still at war. You'll see. He's still at war, Trump. Guys, who do you think is going to be right about this, me or Trump? Trump is saying you're not at war anymore. I'm saying he's still right in the middle of a war. Who do you think is going to be right?
But only by embracing the opportunities of this moment can we achieve our goal of ensuring that the horrors of recent years will never happen again. You don't want to have to go through this again. 8 years ago, I came to this region on a very special first trip abroad as the President of the United States. I came here very early at your request. I addressed the leaders of the Arab and Muslim world gathered in Saudi Arabia and said that it was time to build a future free of the grip of extremism and terror. And interestingly, right now, as soon as I'm finished, I'm quite late. You've kept me quite late between opposition leaders and Bibi's brilliant but very long speech. I thought I was going to run up here, make a speech, and then head to Egypt. It didn't work out, though. And you made a pretty long one, too, Sarah.
Okay, Trump. You're the one to speak. Your speech is 1 hour. But that's funny. I like it. It's a good show.
But I liked what you all said. It could be worse. Supposing on top of it, I didn't like what you said. That would be no good, Ron, would it? Ron, you did a great job, by the way, Ron.
Oh, by the way, guys, did you answer? Like, I didn't get the answer. Is Smotrich and Ben-Gvir here? Are they allowed in the parliament when Trump was speaking?
So I'm going to be meeting, actually, in a little while, I'm going to be meeting with the most powerful, the richest nations really in the world, although now with the tariffs, the United States is by far the richest nation in the world, as you probably have been reading.
United States was the richest nation before the tariffs by a huge margin. What is he talking about? Like, he said, like, the rich, like, which countries are you talking about being the richest nations? Your country is the richest nation before the tariffs. What?
Powerful, the richest nations really in.
Wait, what do you mean? Like, does Trump not know that his country was the richest nation even before the tariffs?
So I'm going to be meeting, actually, in a little while, I'm going to be meeting with the most powerful, the richest nations really in the world, although now with the tariffs, the United States is by far the richest nation in the world, as you probably have been reading. But
that has always been the case, Trump.
The richest nations, most powerful nations, tremendous, headed by some tremendous people in many cases. Some cases I wouldn't say necessarily I would endorse, but I will tell you some incredible people that really helped us make this all possible. So I'll be going there. I'll be quite late. They might not be there by the time I get there, but we're going to give it a shot. But the journey we started back then led to the crushing defeat of the ISIS caliphate, to the monumental Abraham Accords, and ultimately to the historic ceasefire this week, in which many of those same nations really played a very pivotal role, I have to tell you. Steve will tell you that. Jared will tell you that. Together, we've shown that peace is not just a hope that we can dream about. It's a reality we can build upon day by day, person by person, and nation by nation. And because of that, the Middle East is finally ready to embrace its extraordinary potential. You have extraordinary potential in this.
The Middle East will never see its extraordinary potential until the Islamic Republic collapses. It will never happen until you remove this barrier from the way.
Region. It should now be clear to everyone throughout the region that decades of fomenting terrorism and extremism, jihadism and anti-Semitism have not worked. They haven't worked. They've been a disaster. They've just killed. They've killed. They've backfired completely and totally. They've just totally backfired. Everything that you thought, take it worst case, it's turned out to be worse than that. They have not worked. From Gaza to Iran, those bitter hatreds have delivered nothing but misery, suffering, failure, and death. They've served not to weaken Israel, but to annihilate the very forces that did the most to foment this hatred. And it's really, I mean, everybody that's tried it has become irrelevant. Meanwhile, we've seen those nations that set aside their differences, reached across ancient divides, and pursued engagement are now among the most successful in the region. They're getting along with Israel, and they're doing great. And I can tell you,
yeah, any country that stands against Israel is going to have a very bad time. And any country around the region that works with Israel is going to prosper. That seems to be the rule. So far it has held. And I suspect it's going to be the same in the future.
the four nations that joined the Abraham Accords early on, and you'd all be doing me a favor, and I'm going to be saying this in a little while to some other friends, would love you all to, is this right, Jared? Join up in the Abraham Accords. We have to join up and get together. You can have that whole thing filled out. We had a very weak administration, worst president in the history of our country by far. And Barack Obama was not far behind, by the way.
Wait. They're clapping for did the Knesset just clap for Obama being the second worst president of the United States? Did that just happen, guys? Did the Knesset just clap for the for for Obama being the second worst president of United States? What the? I'm just saying yes. Okay. I don't know what you guys. Wait,
In
hold
the
on.
Abraham Accords, we have to
Hold
join
on.
up and get together. You can have that whole thing filled out. We had a very weak administration, worst president in the history of our country by far. And Barack Obama was not far behind, by the way.
Yeah, I actually I don't know why are you clapping that. I mean, flying robot. Like I agree with you. I said like whatever your views on Biden or Obama is, I don't like it when you go out when you're in foreign countries. You should stand as one nation. So flying robot duck in the chat is saying, I really wish he'd leave domestic politics at home. Yeah, because if you're an American president, when you are in Israel or any other country, your internal domestic disagreements, when you're facing the rest of the world, you should be a united country. Okay, do those fights internally. Yeah, they're clapping for the comedic nation. Yeah, I guess so. I guess it would be awkward if it was dead silence after that.
And they did nothing with this incredible document, the Abraham Accords, but now you can fill them up. Now you have peace. You have people that really like Israel. I'll tell you what, and they like Israel a lot more today than they did even 5 weeks ago. You've made a lot of, you've come back. You've come back strong because it was getting to be a little nasty out there in the world. And ultimately the world wins.
Because they respect strength. Do you guys know why, as leftist college students and a whole bunch of Islamic, I don't want to, well, both immigrants and non-immigrants, right? A whole bunch of people, a lot of Muslims and a lot of leftists in United States, Canada, and Europe come into the streets, and you see so many people turning against Israel. And even in Islamic countries, the population, they're becoming more and more anti-Israeli. Do you know why the Islamic countries' leaders, they're becoming pro-Israeli, unlike their own people and unlike the people of Western countries? Because they understand the language of strength. That's their main metric. Okay, so even Qatar, guys, do you guys think Qatar? Guys, let me ask you a question. Do you think Qatar became more anti-Israeli after Israel bombed the Hamas headquarters, the gathering area for Hamas leaders in Qatar? Do you think Qatar became more anti-Israeli or less anti-Israeli? Because I'll tell you something that other people wouldn't tell you. I think Qatar became more pro-Israel because of the bombing on their own soil. Because these people, when they see strength, they bend the knee. This is the language of the Middle East that many of you. This is something that actually Trump seems to understand. Okay, Trump understands that these leaders, they only understand strength. They don't understand diplomacy. They understand strength. And when Israel is going around after October 7th and just doing whatever the hell wants and nobody can stop it, when they destroyed Hamas in the way they did in Gaza, when they did this to Hezbollah, when they do it what they did to the Houthis, when they did what they did to the IRGC, all these Arab countries in the Middle East and North Africa are looking at that and they're like, holy shit, we cannot be an enemy of such a nation. The only solution is for us to be an ally of such a powerful nation. That's their reaction. That is how things in the Middle East works. Okay. And that's why these countries are getting closer. Even Qatar Qatar, after the bombing, they're getting closer to Israel. They're not getting farther from Israel. They're getting closer to Israel because there's no other choice.
You've come back strong because it was getting to be a little nasty out there in the world. And ultimately, the world wins. You can't beat the world. Oh, I would say to Bibi, it's now time. And he understood it better than anybody because ultimately, you know, the world's a very big place. And I've said a lot. I said, this piece of land is very small. It's unbelievable what you've done with that tiny. You look at a map, even of just not the world, the Middle East, and you have this little dot. And think of what you've done. It's incredible. It's incredible.
The tiny little country that makes the greatest powers in the region bend the knee to it. That is truly a David and Goliath story. Like, it doesn't get any closer to David and Goliath. Okay, thank you so much, Sapien. Gave us a super sticker. Really appreciate your support. Thank you. That's very sweet.
But the world is loving. The world is loving Israel again. And I said to Bibi, you know, the world is big and it's strong. And Ron, ultimately, the world wins. And we don't have to worry about that now. But there was getting to be a period of time over the last few months, you know, the world wanted peace and Israel wanted peace. Everybody did. Everybody did. And what a victory it's been, right? What a victory it's been. If you would have gone on for 3, 4 more years, keep fighting, it was getting bad. It was getting heated.
Okay, you're speaking too soon, Trump. You're speaking too soon. Well, let's see. Let's see if the ceasefire holds.
The timing of this is brilliant. And I said, Bibi, you're going to be remembered for this far more than if you kept this thing going, kill. It would be it would not be the same. And I just want to congratulate you for having the courage to say, that's it. We've won. And now let's.
Yeah, so Kija, you're correct. Israel wanted peace from the beginning. That's true. The thing that other people don't understand is that Israel wants peace more than anybody, but Israel also understands that peace comes from the enemy destroying the enemies of peace. Peace comes from destroying the enemies of peace, but nobody is more eager for peace than Israel. But you know why nobody is more eager for peace than Israel? Because no other country's existence is threatened as much as Israel, and that's why Israel wants peace more than any other country in the world.
Having the courage to say, that's it, we've won, and now let's enjoy our lives and let's rebuild Israel and make it stronger and bigger and better than it's ever been before. We're going to do that. Took a lot of guts. And the choice for Palestinians could not be more clear. This is their chance to turn forever from the path of terror and violence. It's been extreme, to exile the wicked forces of hate that are in their midst. And I think that's going to happen.
I don't know why you think that, Trump, because this chance was given to them again and again and again and again and again and again, and they said no to it every single time. I don't know why you think that this time they're going to say yes. I don't know what's the difference.
People over the last couple of months that want to see it happen very much. And after tremendous pain and death and hardship, now is the time to concentrate on building their people up instead of trying to tear Israel down. We don't want that to happen again. And the total focus of Gazans must be on restoring the fundamentals of stability, safety, dignity, and economic development so they can finally have the better life that their children really do deserve after all these decades of horror. I intend to be a partner in this effort in the sense that we're going to help and we're going to do something that became unbelievably popular. Everybody wants to be on it. It's called the Board of Peace. Okay, how about that? Is that a beautiful name? Like a board of peace.
The guy cares about branding. No, his job has been sales for a lot of his career. Like the board of peace, the name is wonderful. Okay, branding is everything.
The only bad thing from my standpoint, every single nation involved has asked me to be the chair. And I'll tell you, I'm very busy. I didn't count on that. But you know what? If we do it, we'll do it right. And we have unbelievable power.
Do you know why they want Trump to be the chair? Because they know that they cannot. The only force in the world that could actually stand in front of Netanyahu and stop him is Trump. So all of these Arab countries are like, please stay here, please be involved. We beg of you. We're scared. We're so very scared. Okay, these people are too powerful, and there's no controlling them. Okay, so Trump, please, for the love of God, be the chair of the board.
But you know what? If we do it, we'll do it right. And we have unbelievable power and wealth, because you're going to need wealth. You're going to need wealth to rebuild things. And they have wealth like few people have wealth. I want to thank the Arab and Muslim nations for their commitment that they've made to support a safe rebuilding of Gaza and beyond. I have many Arab countries, very wealthy countries, that came up and said, we'll put up tremendous amounts of money to get to rebuild Gaza. And I think that's going to happen. The power, they want dignity, they want to come forward, and they want to say, and I want to say who they are, because what they're doing is going to be, I think, something that you're going to be very impressed with, Bibi. And you need that. You need the kind of economic power that they have, and they want to see it work. And they want to see it be safe. And they want to see it be good for Israel, too. And as much money as it will be, and it's a lot, as you can see, it's a lot. For these countries, it's relatively little relative to their worth. It's really a lot of money like most people could never even conceive. But for these countries,
it's actually not that much money. I don't know, guys. If you guys actually look at like their economics, like Saudi Arabia doesn't have much spending power right now. They're actually running out of money. They don't, because of Vision 2030 and a whole bunch of other things that they have done, they actually don't have that much buying power.
it's not that much, especially because it ensures success and stability in the Middle East, which is what they want to see. So many of them will be with us in Egypt in a little while, I think. I'm not sure. They may be gone.
I think Trump gets impressed with all the, I don't know, the way it looks. What is the right word? With the presentation, with the big palaces. I mean, here's the thing, because they're not democracies, they get to just use their people's monies to just build lavish things. And when you go there, it just looks really impressive. I mean, America, it has a lot more money, but the government doesn't just get to take people's money and just build giant palaces, because it's a democracy and people would not like that. But because these countries do get to do that, when you go there, you think that they have more money than the US because it just looks nicer. But just because it looks nicer doesn't mean that they have more money. If it looks nicer, it actually means that they're not managing their money very well, because they're not spending it on things that actually increases productivity. They're spending it on things that makes it look nicer instead of spending it on things that makes them more productive. Oh wait, we got another super chat. Shani, thank you so much for the super chat saying Trump made me Trump gonna made me laugh for an hour and a half. Live in a Western movie. The main thing is he brought back the living captives. Yes, that's that's what I celebrate. That's what I celebrate. I don't celebrate peace, because there is no peace, and there shouldn't be peace right now until Hamas is gone. But the thing that we could appreciate is we could appreciate that this ceasefire, this shaky ceasefire got the hostages home. But now that the hostages are home, Hamas has no more leverage. So go fuck them up. Go finish the job.
They may have taken their Boeing 747s and left. I said, what kind of a plane do you fly? 747. I said, that's a large plane. No, they may have, Steve.
So, Jewish Samantha, you're saying give peace a chance. Peace with Hamas, peace with the people who did October 7th, peace with people that we take advantage of this peace to rebuild so that they could come back and come at you again. Why would you show mercy on people who did who committed genocide on your people? Why would you show them any mercy? Like, why would you allow them to live after what they did on October 7th?
You think they've left? I said, what kind of a plane do you fly? 747. I said, that's a large plane. No, they may have, Steve, do you think they've left on their their brand new Boeing 747s? Or, I don't know. We're going to find out soon. It's going to be a big story. There'll be 2 people left, and they'll be the 2 poorest ones.
Wait, I didn't get the joke. I was paying attention to the chat. This seems like it's very funny.
They may have, Steve, do you think while, I think, I'm not, so many of them will be with us in Egypt in a little while, I think, I'm not sure. They may be gone. They may have taken their Boeing 747s and left. I said, what kind of a plane do you fly? 747. I said, that's a large plane. No, they may have, Steve, do you think they've left on their their brand new Boeing 747s? Or, I don't know. We're going to find out soon. It's going to be a big story. There'll be 2 people left, and they'll be the 2 poorest ones. But it will be the
Guys, I didn't get that joke, actually.
wealthiest and most powerful group of nations. So the group that we have assembled, that's waiting for us, is the wealthiest and most powerful group ever assembled at one time. There has never been a group like this, and they're only looking for good. They want good. They're going to do good. And as those commitments are made, I'm going to let the world know who's doing it, because they really deserve to get the credit. And some of them probably won't want the credit, but they deserve it. It's more obvious than ever that the productive and responsible nations of this region should not be enemies or adversaries. You should be partners and eventually even friends. And that's what's going to happen. I know it. Together you can stand against the forces of chaos. Yeah, you go ahead. That's an important point.
I hope so.
Because you can stand against the forces of chaos that threatened all of your interests. And it's always a big threat, and unleash incredible prosperity and opportunity for all the people of these lands. And that's what's going to happen. You're going to unleash numbers and success, the likes of which Israel has never been able to think of, because you're so firm, and you should be, and you've done the right thing in defending yourself. You're not going to have to worry so much about it. You've won, and now you can build, and you can do things that you never even thought possible. When you put that genius into doing something else, it's going to be something it's going to be a miracle. The miracle in the desert, it's going to be amazing. And it already is in a true sense, but it'll be wonderful when you can spend time thinking about other than war and defense and offense also. To that end, it's my firm hope and dream, frankly, that together the Abraham Accords will turn out to be everything that we thought they would. Those 4 countries were very, very brave in doing it. They did it at a very early point, and every single one of them benefits unbelievably financially. And if you noticed, even in this bad period that we just went through, they all remained a member of the Abraham Accords. They've done unbelievably well. And you know who you are, and I want to thank you.
Guys, not even October 7th managed to get them out of the Abrahamic Accord. You see what a power Israel is? Because the point of October 7th was to destroy the Abrahamic Accord. And even that didn't make these countries quit, because there's no choice. Israel is too powerful. Israel is too powerful for them to give up on this. They need Israel. oil money and gas money is gonna go up so far, especially with new technologies. And you know, Daddy America is not going to be around to always save you from the Islamic Republic or other enemies. The force in the region, you need to become friends with them, both for economic interests and military interests, and also trade routes and everything else. Trade routes, especially, actually. There is no other way. Israel, in fact, guys, October 7th was meant to get all of these Arab and Islamic countries to not get closer to Israel. But because of how Israel responded, it now made them more eager, because the October 7th was trying to demonstrate that Muslims should not unite with Israel, should not work with Israel. But by Israel demonstrating how powerful it is, all these countries realize that there is no other way. So they need to actually get into, they need to they need to bend the knee, to be honest, to Israel even faster than before. There is no, I mean, Israel seems to be just owning that entire place. Israel is the king of the Middle East. Israel is the king of the Middle East, and you need to just bend the knee to the king. This is how it is. Either join the main forces that rule, or watch yourself get defeated by the barbarians at the gate, because you are not going to be able to protect yourself against the barbarians. You need the power of Israel to come protect you. You're not going to be able to do this yourself, and America is not going to be there for you always. America has bigger plans. America has bigger plans closer to China. So you need to get your act together and realize that Israel is the hegemon power of the region, and there's no other way. The tiny country that controls the entire area.
Unbelievably well, and you know who you are, and I want to thank you. And they've stayed because of loyalty.
Oh, we got another super chat. Let's see. Carl saying, try some rock rose, really good for colds. Okay, thank you, Carl. Thank you, I appreciate that. I don't know. I don't want to get better. I like my voice right now. I actually like my voice. How do I stay like this? What do I drink so that I can stay like this?
But they've also stayed because it was really good business. They've made a lot of money being members, and you're going to all. I hope that every one of the countries that we're seeking, Jared, I hope they join quickly. No games, no nothing. Just join, get it. It's going to be a great peacemaker. It's really going to bring it together beyond anybody's wildest dream. So instead of building fortresses to keep enemies at bay, the nations of this region should be building infrastructure to weave your commerce closer together, because you've got to compete with the big world out there in commerce now. It's a different kind of competition. Instead of making weapons and missiles, the wealth of this region should flow to schools and medicine, industry, and frankly, the new hot thing, artificial intelligence. It's a lot of intelligence you're going to have to be thrown off to pay back these sums of money that they're doing. But that's really the hot one. And I might say that the United States, a year ago, was a dead country. I say it to people. I heard it first from the King of Saudi Arabia. I then heard it from UAE. I heard it from Qatar. I heard it from many other countries.
Wait, heard what? Who's the dead country?
I'd say that the United States, a year ago, was a dead country. I say it to people.
What?
I heard it first from the King of Saudi Arabia. I then heard it from UAE. I heard it from Qatar. I heard it from many other countries. A year ago, the United States of America was a dead country.
Okay. It's one thing to say America was weaker than when you were in power. America was never a dead country. What are you talking about? America was not a dead country. And using what the Saudis and the Emiratis are saying as a source of information, that's another very credible source of information, Trump. And no, America was not a dead country. You could say America was weaker than when I am in power, but it's not even close to a dead country. America at its weakest, America is still the most powerful country in the world by a huge margin.
Now it's the hottest country anywhere in the world. It is the hottest. There's no question about it. In fact, if you go back a year ago, before the election, although once we had November 5th, we became hot because people got it. I would say November 5th was a time that we became really hot. But once you go back a couple of years, if I were in charge and the country was doing what they, nobody was going to ask me to speak. Nobody asked Joe Biden to come up and speak. I guarantee you that. And if they did, he would have turned them down. I promise you. He didn't speak. He didn't speak, and he didn't speak well. But all of the countries in the Middle East, it could have, what we're doing now, it could have happened a long time ago, but it was strangled and set back almost irretrievably by the administrations of Barack Obama and then Joe Biden. It was, there was a hatred toward Israel. There was an absolute hatred. The setbacks really started when President Obama signed the Iran nuclear deal. This was a disaster for Israel, and it was a disaster for everyone. And I remember that Bibi Netanyahu came to the United States and worked so hard to try and get Obama not to do that deal.
True.
He worked so hard. But it was like talking to a wall. I remember him telling me it was like talking to a wall. They wanted to go with Iran. They chose Iran, frankly, over a lot of other good nations, but specifically Israel. And that was the beginning of a very bad period of time. You had Obama go out, and the Iran nuclear deal turned out to be a disaster. And by the way, I terminated the Iran nuclear deal, and I was very proud to do it. Yet even to Iran, whose regime has inflicted so much death on the Middle East, the hand of friendship and cooperation is open. I'm telling you, they want to make a deal.
Oh no, you ruined it. I was clapping, and now you ruined it. Why? I was so you were on a roll. You were on a roll. I was clapping. No, the hands of friendship to the people who wanted to assassinate you. Why would you have hands of friendship? Hands of friendship to people who did October 7th, who did the greatest act of genocide on Jews since World War II. You want to befriend Jew haters and people who want to destroy America. Why would you, like, how is that America? Isn't that anti-American? Isn't it anti-American to offer friendship to people whose goal is to destroy America? Like, I don't understand this. Like, guys, make it make sense. Make it make sense to me. Is it not anti-American to offer friendship to people who want to destroy America? We got a super chat. Let me see. Oh, thank you, Ziv. That's very nice. That's very generous. Thank you, Ziv. Ziv is saying, Armin, thank you for covering these issues for so long. I've started seeing you 2 years ago after October 7th, and the war broke here. What? Oh, the tea packs throat pills are on me. Okay, thank you. I hope it will be enough. Oh, thank you so much. Okay, you want me to spend the super chat on pills for my throat? Okay. Okay, I will do that. Thank you so much, and I appreciate you supporting me. I appreciate you sticking with me all these the past 2 years. I hope I deserve it. I hope I continue to. I hope I don't disappoint you guys. I appreciate you guys sticking with me. That's very nice.
Into Iran. Yet even to Iran, whose regime has inflicted so much death on the Middle East, the hand of friendship and cooperation is open. I'm telling you, they want to make a deal. That's all.
They don't want to make a deal. What they want to do is they want to buy time. They want to buy time. When you like, how have you not learned this yet? How have you not learned that the Islamic Republic, whenever they sit at the table, is because they're trying to delay you putting maximum pressure on them so that they could use the resources that you're still allowing them to have to build the weapons that they need to destroy all of you. And by all of you, I mean all of you. I don't mean Israel. I don't even mean just Israel and America. I mean all of you. Like the entire civilized world. They want a complete takeover. Why would you want to befriend these people? Why would you want to do a policy of appeasement with these people? There is no sense negotiating with these people. These people have dedicated their entire resources. They're sucking the blood of Iran. They're using all the resources of our people in Iran. They're destroying the country, and they know it. They know they're destroying Iran, but they don't care because they don't care about Iran. This is an occupying power. The government in Iran is not the government of Iran. It's not. These are not our people. The Islamic Republic is spending Iran to come after you. And when you negotiate with them, when you sit at the table with them, when they pretend that maybe they're interested in peace, they're playing you for a fool. They're actually shocked why you believe them after 40 years, after 46 years of them playing you like this. And every single time that you negotiated with them, they use the resources that you give them as a carrot to come and attack you again. When you try that policy again, you even surprise them. You even surprise them that why, like the fact that they think you're fools. Why would you you just attacked Obama for doing the nuclear deal with the Islamic Republic? Why was that a bad idea? Because it released so much money to the Islamic Republic that made October 7th possible. So when you want to offer friendship to the Islamic Republic, that is basically the repeat of that strategy. There should be no policy with the Islamic Republic other than regime change. Free Iran and free the Middle East and free the world of this evil. There's no other solution. There's no peace with evil. There is no peace with evil. There's no friendship with this evil. It needs to be eradicated. They're coming for you. They call Israel the little Satan, and you are the big Satan. They're destroying Israel because Israel is standing between you and them. Their goal is for them to come at you eventually, and Israel is in their path. These are the people you want to do peace with? These are the people who killed so many Americans in Lebanon and in Iraq, and they will kill more Americans if they can, if Israel wasn't in the way. Why would you want to befriend people who killed so many of your citizens? It doesn't make any sense. Guys, make it make sense. This makes no sense.
All I do in my life, I make deals. I'm good at it. I've always been good at deals. That's all I do in my life.
Okay, yeah, like the deal that you did with Putin. You did deals in real estate. You don't know how to do deals in politics because you don't understand that. Okay, here's Trump. There's a difference between doing deals in business and in politics. Because in business, you could understand that everybody on the table is interested in prosperity and profit and growth. So you understand everybody that everybody is going for a win-win situation. When you're doing business deal, your understanding is that we want to make money and they want to make money, so let's make money together. Okay? But in politics, usually it's the same. Usually when you're sitting with other country, you want your country to prosper and they want their country to prosper. And you have an understanding and you're trying to come up with a win-win situation. But Trump, there are some times that the people on the other side of the table, they're not interested in your or even their own prosperity. They're interested in a completely different thing. Okay. And that's what you don't understand. You have been so much involved in business that you think that everybody is looking to make money and become more prosperous. You don't understand that sometimes the people on the other side are just looking to burn shit up and destroy the world as it is, because they have a different idea of how the world should be as a whole. And that's something that is foreign to you. And if you understood that, then you would understand that the same rules don't apply to these people.
Has inflicted so much death on the Middle East. The hand of friendship and cooperation is open. I'm telling you, they want to make a deal. That's all I do in my life. I make deals. I'm good at it. I've always been good at it. And I know when they want. Even if they said, we don't want to make a deal, I can tell you they want to make a deal. All right, they do. They want to make a deal, and we're going to see if we can do something, because this is crazy what's happening, and we're not going to have.
This is the policy of appeasement with the Islamic Republic. This is very dangerous talk, by the way, guys. This is what's going. This if Trump is successful, if Trump is successful, the Iranian people are going to remain in chains. So let me say this: if Trump is successful, the Iranian people are going to be in chains for decades to come with this policy of appeasement with the Islamic Republic. But if Netanyahu is successful, the Iranian people will be free. The Iranian people will get to experience having normal lives like the rest of the rest of the freaking planet.
This anymore. Neither the United States nor Israel bear the people of Iran any hostility. We merely want to live in peace.
Look at this. He doesn't understand Iran. So again, this is something he doesn't understand. Netanyahu completely separates the Iranian people and the Islamic Republic, and he understands that they're against each other. The Iranian people and against the Islamic Republic. But Trump, when he wants to praise the Islamic Republic, as he calls it, Iran, he groups the Iranian people with the government. So he wants to say Iran is good. By that he meaning that he wants to praise the government sometimes. He wants to say that we mean no hostility towards the government if we could. And he praises the Iranian people as a way to suggest that Iran is good, so we mean no hostility to them. Do you understand how he's basically grouping the goodness of the Iranian people with the Islamic Republic? And that doesn't make any sense. Guys, there's nothing more anti-Iranian than the Islamic Republic in Iran. You cannot group these two together. There has never been any force in the history, in our very, very long history of Iran, there has never been any force more anti-Iranian than the Islamic Republic. And guys, we Iranians, we have a very long history, and we have experienced a lot of hostility and invasions and attacks. Okay, we had the Alexander's invasion, we had the Mongols, we had the Arab invasion, right? We had all of that, and none of this compares to how anti-Iranian the Islamic Republic has been against Iran. Do you know why? Do you know why this is the greatest evil that we Iranian people have ever faced in our history? Because at least every time those other forces came in, once they took over the place, they stopped destroying it, because now it was their land, right? And they start, at some point after destruction, even the Mongols, who are famous for destruction, at some point they stopped destroying and started building, okay? But the Islamic Republic is like an invasion that keeps repeating every single year. Like the Islamic Republic, like when the Mongols attacked, they attacked once, and then they stopped attacking. But the Islamic Republic re-invades Iran every single year, because they're not building. They're destroying Iran, because they're using all of its resources for things outside of Iran. That's why the Islamic Republic is like 46 invasions right on top of each other with no opportunity to recover. That's why the Islamic Republic is the greatest evil that has ever existed in our history against the Iranian people.
What's happening? If they said we don't want,
and that's why it's so painful to see somebody grouping the Islamic Republic with the Iranian people.
Want to make a deal, I can tell you they want to make a deal. All right, they do. They want to make a deal, and we're going to see if we can do something, because this is crazy what's happening, and we're not going to have this anymore. Neither the United States nor Israel bear the people of Iran any hostility. We merely want to live in peace. We don't want any looming threats over our heads.
If you don't mean the Iranian people any hostility, then you should be hostile to the people who have occupied our land. If you are our friends and not our enemies, then you should be the enemy to people who are oppressing us, who are torturing us, who are imprisoning us. Guys, and worse than all of that is the poverty that they have inflicted upon the land. Worse than all of that, because that is killing even more than the people that the Islamic Republic is executing every single year.
And we don't want to even think in terms of nuclear destruction. It's not going to happen, never will happen. There's nothing that would do more good for this part of the world than for Iran's leaders to renounce terror, stop threatening their neighbors, quit funding their militant proxies, and finally recognize Israel's right to existence. They have to do that. They have to do that. And to Iran, and as you know, this is not said out of weakness. There's no weakness. But I'm going to say this, that we are ready when you are, and it will be the best decision that Iran has ever made. And it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
So he just left the door open to the Islamic Republic again. After all the backstabbing, every single time you give an opportunity to the Islamic Republic, this is the policy of appeasement. Every time they accepted your offer, they accepted that offer to buy time so that they could recover and hit you again another day. How do you not understand this? Why are you doing this?
And they're good people. I know a lot of Iranians in the United States. They're good people, smart, hardworking people. They don't want to see what's happened to their country. The story of fierce Israeli resolve and triumph since October 7th should be proof to the entire world that those who seek to destroy this nation are doomed to bitter failure. The state of Israel is strong, and it will live and thrive forever. And that is why Israel will always remain a vital ally of the United States of America. Israelis share our values, field one of the world's most powerful militaries. You really do. You have an amazing, what a job you've done. And have one of the most innovative economies on earth. Those are just a few of the reasons why I'm proud to be the best friend that Israel has ever had. And they all say it in the White House. They all say it. I guess it's true because everybody says it, baby. You said it today. Thank you. But as president, I terminated the disastrous Iran nuclear deal, and ultimately I terminated Iran's nuclear program with things called B-2 bombers. It was swift, and it was accurate, and it was a military beauty. I authorized the spending of billions of dollars, which went to Israel's defense, as you know. And after years of broken promises from many other American presidents, you know that, they kept promising. I never understood it until I got there. There was a lot of pressure put on these presidents. It was put on me too, but I didn't yield to the pressure. But every president for decades said, we're going to do it. The difference is I kept my promise and officially recognized the capital of Israel and moved the American embassy to Jerusalem. Isn't that right, Miriam? Look at Miriam. She's back there. Stand up, Miriam. Stand up. Miriam and Sheldon would come into the office. They'd call me. He'd call me. I think they had more trips to the White House than anybody else I could think of. Look at her sitting there so innocently. She's got 60 billion in the bank, 60 billion. And I think she's saying no more. and she loves Israel, but she loves it. And they would come in, and her husband was a very aggressive man, but I loved him. He was a very aggressive, very supportive of me. And he'd call up, can I come over and see you? I say, Sheldon, I'm the president of the United States. It doesn't work that way. He'd come in and do good though. But they were very responsible for so much, including getting me thinking about Golan Heights, which is probably one of the greatest things to ever happen to Israel. Miriam, stand up, please. She really is. I mean, she loves this country. She loves this country. Her and her husband are so incredible. We miss him so dearly. But I actually asked her, I'm going to get her in trouble with this, but I actually asked her once, I said, so Miriam, I know you love Israel. What do you love more, the United States or Israel? She refused to answer. That might mean Israel, I must say. We love you. Thank you, darling, for being here. That's a great honor. Great honor. She had wonderful.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. So, guys, what? Sorry. Thank you. I see it. But guys, why did he say that? He look at this
Incredible.
line. Okay, I'm back. Am I? Is my sound back now? Am I back? Testing. Am I back? Sound is back. Okay, thank you. Right. So, guys, this part, I think it's going to get used by so many anti-Semites. What do you guys think? Like, because a lot of anti-Semites are going to be saying that, oh, this proves dual loyalty. Right? Look at this. Like, I think this is going to provide a lot of ammunition to a whole bunch of American anti-Semites that keep saying, yeah, you're right. So, oh, TYT already used it. I did, guys. See how my prediction was correct? I didn't even know TYT already said that. But just like clockwork, like when, okay, yeah, look at the line again. Trump just gave all of the people who, all the anti-Semites in America who say that American Jews are, more loyal to Israel than America. He just gave them the biggest ammunition possible. And especially her, who has $60 billion. So she's like she's like a really, really big deal. Okay. Like she is more powerful than most of the people in this room, right? In the Knesset with her money, right? So now look at the American anti-Semites going to be like, look, this Jewish woman, Jewish American, with all her money, influencing, like going, like I don't know why Trump said all of this, because he said that this Jewish woman with all of these billions, they get to come to the White House and have my attention and influence me in a way that is not even protocol. Like if I tell them I'm the president, it doesn't work like that. Well, because they're billionaires, and because they're like, and again, they're gonna say Jewish billionaires. For them, the protocol doesn't apply, and they get access to the president, and they could influence them with their money. And then when you even ask them if they like America more than Israel, they're going to refuse to answer. And then Trump even gave them another ammunition by saying, if she refused to answer, that means, and he didn't say, like Trump is basically saying that they're right, then they love Israel more. So this was these few seconds were basically a gift from God to all of the anti-Semites in United States that keep saying that Jewish money, American Jews are more loyal to Israel than America, and in America they use American politics for Israeli interests more than American interests. So I don't know why Trump did all of this, because this is going to be used forever and ever.
It
Look at
really
this.
is.
Listen to this line
I
again.
mean, she loves this country.
Yeah, so Michael in the chat saying it almost sounded like Trump was shaking her down, because how better to prove him wrong than to give him money. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Look at this. Listen to this line that Trump says here, because this is really bad.
She loves this country. Her and her husband are so incredible. We miss him so dearly. But I actually asked her, I'm going to get her in trouble with this, but I actually asked her when.
Yeah, you are going to get him in get her in trouble for this. You're going to get all of us in trouble for this, because now everybody's going to use, like, look, Trump admitted
We
it.
miss him so dearly. But I actually asked her, I'm going to get her in trouble with this, but I actually asked her once. I said, so Miriam, I know you love Israel. What do you love more, the United States or Israel? She refused to answer. That might mean Israel, I must say.
Like, why is he saying that? So he's saying that means that they love Israel more. So why are you doing, like, does he not understand what the implications of the words that he's saying is?
We love you. Thank you, darling, for being here. That's a great honor. Great honor. She's a wonderful woman. She is a great woman.
By the way, if you ask me what I think about this, I don't think it matters at all if you love Israel more than America. Okay, like I know I'm going to get attacked for this, but as an Iranian Canadian, I love Iran more than Canada. I'm an Iranian Canadian. I love Iran. Like, I think when you get a citizenship of another country, the expectation should be that you love the country and you're loyal and you're law abiding and you basically, accept the culture and you all of that. I think the expectation shouldn't be that you love this country than the other country that you're a citizen of, because if that's the expectation for this country, why shouldn't it be that the expectation of the other country as well? So I don't understand, like, especially if you're born in the other country and you have childhood memories and everything there. I don't understand. Like, I think you should be able to love, if you're citizen of, I'm a citizen of two countries. What's wrong with loving one more than the other one? Like, that, there's no problem with that, I think. So if you are Israeli American and you love Israel more than America, I don't see a problem with that. I think anti-Semites want to make a big deal out of that. I don't see that I don't see a problem with that.
I've always stood for the people of this community, and I always will. I'll always be with you. I'm always going to be with you. I guess maybe something could happen to change my mind. Somebody that's really stupid gets into office and wants to do really bad things, but that's about it. And we don't think we're going to have that happen. I hope we're not going to have that happen. And this man is a good man right here. These two men are good men right here. Hey, I have an idea. Mr. President, why don't you give him a pardon?
Whoa. This was the biggest bombshell that people are talking about. And I don't think it was even in his speech. I think he just said it. He asked the president, guys, can you do that in Israel? Can the president in Israel give Netanyahu a pardon?
Hey, I have an idea. Mr. President, why don't you give him a pardon?
Whoa. Guys, is that possible? Like, does the president have the power to pardon the prime minister? Do you guys have that power? I could look it up. Let me play it as we say, but guys, if the president have the power to pardon the prime minister, why haven't you done that already? Why have you been dragging this stupid lawsuit against Netanyahu for all this time over nothing? You have made the war so much more difficult because your prime minister had to keep going in and out of the court over some cigars, over some cigars. Like, what the fuck is wrong? Like, what the fuck is wrong with the law? That if it was legal for the president to pardon the prime minister, you should have done that ages ago.
Hey, I have an idea. Mr. President, why don't you give him a pardon? Give him a pardon.
Yes. Uh, look how happy Netanyahu is. This is exactly what he needed. Okay, I really support this. I support Trump doing this because maybe so. Bar gave us a super chat saying it's because it's an internal war within Israel. Well, cut it out. You're in a war with Hamas and the Islamic Republic. You shouldn't have an internal war, especially with the prime minister that is managing your war. You shouldn't be tying his hand with court cases while he's trying to protect your country, right? Like, cut it out. Stop fighting each other when you're fighting such a great force of evil. Stop fighting against each other. Just support your prime minister. Pardon him so he could do his job. Well, I don't understand this. You should have done this. So, okay, I asked ChatGPT. ChatGPT says that yes, the Israeli president does have the legal power to pardon, reduce, or commute sentences. Well, why haven't you done this already? And it says, however, it's usually done after conviction. Okay, it says usually, not always. Well, then convict him fast so that he could get the pardon. Like, just guarantee him a pardon before you convict him. And then it's like there's legal disagreement whether a pre-conviction pardon is valid. Okay, so then get over that disagreement and make it a thing. And it's, a pardon must typically go through the justice ministry, and the president's decision is often countersigned by but guys, Israelis. I know I'm not Israeli. I'm a foreigner, but get your act together and get your prime minister pardoned. What the fuck are you doing? Like, why the fuck are you wasting your time with court cases over a bunch of cigars when there's evil at your gates, where there's barbarians at your gates? You're the leader of your army. You're dragging him through court cases over some cigars while the barbarians are trying to get in and destroy every single one of you. Where the fuck is your priorities? So Purple Pulp is saying no, Armin. It's more complicated than that. Okay, make it less complicated. Okay, I don't. It might be complicated, but reduce the complications, because at the end of the day, whatever the complications are, your prime minister is going through court cases through something that is very insignificant and not important, and your prime minister is right now, love him or hate him, he's the person that is now managing the war that you have with your enemies. Okay, it doesn't make any fucking sense. Okay, this is a matter of survival. This is a matter of survival. Get rid of this useless case. I mean, if you had like, look who who's agreeing with me. You know who's agreeing with me? All of these people who are clapping. Okay, so if you had internal fights before, let that release of the hostages bring you together. Everybody in the Knesset is clapping over this, like almost everybody, it seems. And let's use Trump's announcement of this request as a way to get you all together. I think this wouldn't have happened unless Trump said it. So we could celebrate Trump for saying this. And now look at this. And I think BB knows that this would have been impossible without Trump saying it. So Trump has made it possible. So I hope now it happens, because whatever internal fights you were having, now with Trump just announced. I mean, this is the guy that has come to save you and basically bring your hostages back. Apparently, you guys are all celebrating him. So if he has all that power, he's his support for Israel. He seems to he wants Israel to do this. Given how much United States has done for Israel, he wants you to do this for him now. So just respond positively to his request. Look at this. This is the best thing Trump has done during the speech. During the speech. This is the best thing Trump has done. I really like this part.
Hey, I have an idea.
Yes.
Mr. President, why don't you give him a pardon?
Look how excited he got. Look, like, oh, and then he started clapping. Look at his
Pardon?
face.
Give him a pardon.
Yes. Look at Netanyahu's face. Look at him. He's like, oh my God, this is what I needed. Thank you. Nobody expected this. I don't think this was part of the plan. Look at him. Oh, look at him. Look at him. He's so happy. Look at him. Look at his face. He's like a puppy that you. He's like so happy. Like, thank you. Look at him. Oh, he did. Oh, look at him. Look how he's looking at Trump. Look how he's admiring him. Look at like he's looking at him in the eyes and like this is some serious level of bromance happening here. He's like like he's not saying anything, but he's saying so much with his eyes. He's like, thank you. Thank you. You saved me. Look at them looking at each other with so much love. Oh my God. This is so romantic. Oh my God. Oh. Oh, Bibi's wife is also happy. Oh, where are all the people in Tel Aviv who are booing Netanyahu, and you were saying thank you Trump, you were praising Trump and booing Netanyahu. Well, Trump that you were praising just asked your president to pardon the man that you were booing. How does that feel?
By the way, that was not in the speech, as you probably know.
See, that was not in the speeches. That was not in the speeches. He just nope. That's why nobody expected it.
By the way, that was not in the speech, as you probably know. But I happen to like this gentleman right over here, and it just seems to make so much sense. You know, whether we like it or not, this has been one of the greatest wartime presidents. This has been one of the.
Okay, presidents? Did he mean prime minister? One of the did he mean? Why is he pointing at Netanyahu and saying president? Guys, did he just misspoke, or am I misunderstanding something?
Seems to make so much sense. You know, whether we like it or not, this has been one of the greatest wartime presidents.
Prime minister.
This has been one of the greatest wartime presidents. And cigars and champagne, who the hell cares about that?
Thank you. Guys, cigars and champagne. This is over. Like, see, you told me it's more complicated than this. No, it's not. It's over some cigars and champagnes. Get over it.
And cigars and champagne, who the hell cares about that?
Yes. Wait, are these the leftists? Why are these people not clapping? Wait, is this lady live streaming? I think one of your Knesset members is live streaming this event.
All right, enough controversy for the day, right? It's actually, I don't think it's very controversial. So, you know, I mean, I see so popular. You are a very popular man. You know why? Because you know how to win.
Wow. Look at him. Look at guys, look at BB's face. Like, yes, look at him.
Because you know how to win. Over the past 2 years, I've met many of the families of the Israelis taken hostage and those that were taken hostage. Unbelievable. I've looked into their eyes. I've seen the worst nightmares of their suffering, but I've also seen something else, the beautiful love of the people, the love of people, frankly, that hold things together, the love that gives you the courage to carry on through thousands of years of persecution and repression, and to emerge with the heart of David. It's a heart of David. It's that love that's defeated the enemies of civilization, built this incredible country and this unbelievable economy, and forged one of the great democracies of the world. That is why it's a true honor to stand here today and address this assembly in your ancient and eternal now capital, Jerusalem. I'm proud to have helped in that regard. This city and this nation stand as living proof that a much brighter future for this entire region is truly within our grasp. For thousands of years, Jerusalem has been a home to Christians, Jews, Muslims, and people of all ethnicities and creeds. This is the holy center of the world's three great Abrahamic faiths. I like that too. Adorned, it's the first time I've seen that word in a while. Adorned with their sacred sites and alive with their pilgrims and visitors from every corner of the globe. But here between the Western Wall, the Temple Mount, and the hill called Calvary, people of every faith and background live, work, pray, serve, and raise their families side by side, and they do it with love. This example is just one of the modern miracles that Israel has given to the world. And just in closing, the leaders in this chamber know better than anyone else the challenges of this harmony, and it's been easily won. No, it hasn't. It has not been. It's been so tough, but it has been, some say, a miracle. What you've done is a miracle. Look at your size. Look at your chances when it all started. And you know, if you think about it, you are safer today, stronger today, and more respected today than at any time in the history of Israel. Think of it. People used to say it wouldn't exist. They don't say that anymore, do they? Yet if safety, security, and coexistence can thrive here in the winding alleys and ancient paths of Jerusalem, then surely peace and respect can flourish among the nations of the broader Middle East. The God who once dwelled among his people in this city still calls us, in the words of Scripture, the turn from evil and do good, to seek peace and pursue it. So he still whispers truth into the hills and knolls and valleys of his magnificent creation, and he still writes hope into the hearts of his children all over the world. And that is why even after 3,000 years of pain and conflict, the people of Israel have never given up from the threats of Zionism, from all sorts of threats. You want the promise of Zion. He still writes hope into the hearts of his children all over the world. And that is why even after 3,000 years of pain and conflict, the people of Israel have never given up.
Wait, guys, sorry, I was muted again. I mute because I don't want to cough into you because I'm sick. But guys, did he just misspoke? Did he just say the threats of Zion? Did he just say the threats of Zionism?
Of pain and conflict, the people of Israel have never given up from the threats of Zionism, from all sorts of threats.
Did he just misspoke, or am I misunderstanding something?
Pain and conflict. The people of Israel have never given up from the threats of Zionism, from all sorts of.
What is he saying? Can somebody explain to me? Am I misunderstanding? Yeah, I think, okay, so Ziv is saying, I think he meant the threats against Zionism. Okay. Okay. The threats of Zionism. Guys, save Israel from the threats of Zionism. Okay. All right.
Threats. You want the promise.
Okay, you misspoke. Okay.
Of Zion. You want the promise of success and hope and love and God. And the people of America have never lost faith in the promise of a great and blessed future for all of us. From the very first day that modern Israel was founded, we have stood together through thick and thin of setbacks, and through victory and defeat. through glory and heartache. We have built industries together. We have made
I like him better when he just speaks after, like he's reading from the teleprompter right now. It's not as interesting as when he's just talking, when, he's just speaking his mind.
discoveries together. We have confronted evil together, and we have waged war together. And perhaps most beautifully of all, we have made peace together. And this week, against all odds, we have done the impossible and brought our hostages home.
Yeah, exactly. Deborah is saying he's better when he just speaks off the cuff. Yeah, I know, exactly.
So now we're going to forge a future that is worthy of our heritage. We're going to build a legacy that all the people of this region can be proud of. New bonds of friendship, cooperation, and commerce will join Tel Aviv to Dubai, Haifa to Beirut, Jerusalem to Damascus, and from Israel to Egypt, from Saudi Arabia to
Okay, I hope he doesn't say Tehran,
Aviv to Dubai, Haifa to Beirut,
unless you're talking about after the regime collapses.
Jerusalem to Damascus, and from Israel to Egypt, from Saudi Arabia to Qatar, from India to Pakistan, from Indonesia to Iraq, from Syria to Bahrain, Turkey to Jordan, the United Arab Emirates to Oman, and Armenia to Azerbaijan, another war that I just settled. We are going to have
Okay, people are laughing. I think people don't believe it.
Azerbaijan, another war that I just settled.
Oh no, actually, that's the one that he did settle that one. He did actually settle that one.
We are going to have hope, harmony, opportunity, and happiness here in the spiritual and geographic center of the entire world.
Okay, I'm glad that in that list Tehran was not included, because that should come later.
Here in the spiritual and geographic center of the entire world. That's what you are. Israel, America, and all of the nations of the Middle East will soon be safer, stronger, greater, and more prosperous than ever before. And I want to thank you all once again for this exceptional honor. This has been truly an honor. It's seldom that a president is invited to do this. And I love Israel. I'm with you all the way. You will be bigger, better, stronger, and more loving than ever before. Thank you very much. God bless you. God bless the United States of America. And God bless the Middle East. Thank you, everybody. Good luck. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Oh, I'm muted again. Guys, this whole sickness has made me mute my microphone so many times. I was basically giving you so much love. You missed out all the love that I was sharing with you guys. I was saying that thank you for spending time with me watching this, because I really think like I get so much out of watching these when I watch it with you guys. So I really enjoy coming here and sharing these with you. And I think like just going through it with you guys, and listening to you guys, watching your opinions and stuff, I just enjoy it so much more, than. And I think like I because I'm doing it with you guys, and you guys are commenting, and I'm checking things with you guys, while we're going through this, I think I get so much more out of it. Like I notice things that I wouldn't have if I was just watching this by myself. So And again, guys, sorry that I muted my microphone a couple of times because I'm trying. I was muting the microphone because I'm coughing so much and I'm trying to not annoy you guys, and then I forget to turn it back on. But I appreciate you guys spending time with me, and we'll do this again tomorrow. I'm not sure what we're going to kind of cover tomorrow. Am I on mute? I'm not on mute now. Neil Bunny says you're on mute. Am I still on mute? No, I'm not on mute anymore. Right? I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. Oh, thank you. You guys are saying we love you, Armin. Oh, thank you, guys. You guys are sweet. That's very sweet. Thank you. Okay, thank you. You guys are so sweet. Okay. Yeah, there's a little bit of a delay. Thank you. I love you guys too. All right. So I hope I sound better next time. All right. And I don't know what I'm going to cover tomorrow. So maybe leave some comments. Give me some suggestions. And guys, if you give me suggestions, don't get upset if I don't pick your suggestion, okay? Give me suggestions with the condition of not getting upset if I don't pick your suggestion. Okay? So I'll go now, and I'm so happy again. I know I already said this before, but I'm so happy that you have your hostages back. Now let's focus on what we need to do to make sure that you never experience something like this ever again. Okay? Let's make never again happen this time. Okay? All right, guys. Thank you. Don't forget to like the stream. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification. Don't forget to leave a comment. Don't forget to recommend our channel, Atheist Republic, to people, to your friends and enemies, so that they come to so that the live chat gets busier. And yeah, I'm Israel Chai, Javid Shah. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.